Let's come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, feeling the body sinking into the ground. Inhaling deep and slow. Exhaling, relaxing the shoulders. Inhaling deep. Exhaling, relaxing the face and the belly. And just staying with your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Breathing from the belly to the ribs, to the chest. Expanding both upward and outward. Opening the body in all directions, receiving the fullness of the inhale. And letting go completely on the exhale. And we're going to start off today with a nice energizing breath for our energizing class. And we'll lift the arms up in the shape of a Y. Curl all the fingers in except the thumbs, which will extend. We'll hold this arm position, and the focus will be on the belly. And we'll do a rapid breath, snapping the belly in on the exhale. When you do that, the inhale pretty much becomes automatic. As soon as you snap the belly in, it releases back out and the breath should come back in. So the focus is more on the exhale, but it's still an even inhale, exhale, exhale. So we'll begin with an inhale and then snapping. If the eyes are closed, take your gaze to the point between your brows. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. Do this as fast as you can without losing the rhythm of the breath. You may notice already how it tones your abdominal muscles, creating a little more vibrancy in the body. Almost done. Beautiful. Inhale deep, bringing the thumbs to touching. Hold the breath. Lift up from the pelvic floor. Lift up from the solar plexus. Drop the chin a little bit. Roll the eyes up and press the tongue to the roof of the mouth so everything has the sense of lifting, even the throat. holding the breath in as long as you can. And then when you need to exhale, just release the hands and lower the arms. Closing the eyes and just feeling the sensations in the body. Feeling that aliveness. And then we'll roll forward onto hands and knees. Hands or fists right under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll start with a nice easy cat and cow. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest, letting the front of the body open and curve with that inhale. Exhaling, tailbone down, the belly lifts, that helps release all the air. Pushing into the ground, lifting the spine, and then reversing, letting the breath lead the way and the movement follow. Reaching the eyes up at the top of the inhale, lifting the belly up on the exhale. Now we'll either stay like this, if this is working for you and you want to continue, please just do that. Otherwise, if you want to create a little more energy, we'll do the same thing rapidly, and the breath will be more staccato and continuing to move with the breath, just faster or staying slow. If you're doing the fast movement, the breath is forceful. Make some noise. Inhale, holding that position and holding the breath. Exhale into child's pose. Arms extended out. Spread the fingers and press forward through the hands. Sending the hips back. Breathe long and slow. See if you can feel the breath stretching the back body even more. Filling the spaces between the ribs with breath, making more space. Keep the hands where they are. Lift the buttocks back up off the heels. Spread the fingers as wide as you can. Curl the toes. Inhale. Exhale, lift the knees. Press into the hands. Press the heels down. Send the thighs back. Pull the shoulders down your back. Roll the elbows back. Sink the chest, drop the head, And then inhale, lift the left leg up. Push into the hands, sink the right heel down. And then exhale, bring the knee toward the elbow, lowering the hips. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, hips down, knee forward. Good. Do 3 more if you can. If not, just stay in the downward dog with the leg up. Everybody can work at whatever level they want, challenging or relaxing, as much as it serves you. The next time you bring the knee to the elbow, if you're doing that variation, hold there. And if you're not doing that variation, please just come into plank. And then step the leg back so that we're all in plank. Holding, lifting the belly toward the spine. And then bending the elbows close by your side. Bring your knees down if you need to do that for support. Lowering, 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 lowering. Hovering over the ground if you can for a moment. And then coming down. Relax the toes. Roll the elbows back. Lift the chest without pressing into the hands. So a nice low cobra. Bringing the heart forward. Elbows are nicely by your side, your tailbone and pelvis pressed down into the ground. Good. And then push into your hands. Come back into downward facing dog. Heels down, heart down, head down, thighs back. Establish your rhythmic breath if you've gotten away from it. And then lift the right leg up, flexing the foot. Push into the hands, feeling the left heel sinking. Good. And then if you wish, lower the hips and bring the knee to the elbow. And then 4 more. When the leg comes up, try to straighten it and stretch through the heel. Once you've done your last one, hold there. You can come into plank if you're not in this variation, or you can stay in the 3-legged dog. And then let's all come into plank. Press the heels back, bring the chest forward, keep the hips low. And then keeping the elbows close by your side. It's okay to bring the knees down if you need to. Lower down slowly, hovering over the ground if you can. And then this time, you can either push into the hands and come into upward dog, or if you're down, have the pelvis on the ground and come into a higher cobra. Unless your back is not happy there, and then stay in a low cobra. It's not about the back, it's about the heart. So as long as you're lifting and opening the heart and maybe even pulling it forward, like it's coming away from your feet or away from your pubic bone, if that's on the ground. Good. And then curl the toes and come into downward dog. If you're needing child's pose instead, feel free to take child's pose. Send the hips back, lengthen the spine. If you're in child's pose, please join us in downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it forward in between the hands. Good. Really press back through the right heel. Push down into the left foot. Stay here if you want, or lift all the way up. Let the arms come up. And then lock the thumbs. And then pull the thumbs apart. Keep pressing back through the heel. Good. Now bring the back heel down. Open the arms out to the side. Make sure that left knee is nice and back so that you can see your first two toes inside the knee. Now look back at your right hand and roll your navel to the right without bringing that left knee with you. Now keep your belly rolled to the right and just turn your head to the left, looking past your left hand. The palms can be down. I think that's the traditional way the pose is taught. I like arms up, palms up. Feels a little more open and spacious to me. Do what works for you. And sink the hips. Weight is even in both feet and you're not leaning forward into the pose. So if you're not sure if you're leaning forward, the best gauge is just to close your eyes and check in and see if there's more weight in the front foot or the back foot. If there is, you're leaning and then it's an easy fix. Just bring more weight into the back foot. Good. And then let's bring the left arm down, resting on the thigh, index finger to thumb. Right arm up and over, reaching across, turning your gaze up to where the wall meets the ceiling. Push back into your right foot to lengthen out through your right hand. And then breathe long and feel the breath, making that length, filling that length, opening the length. Okay, bring the right arm behind your back. Take your gaze to the floor. Step the back foot forward just a little bit, like a foot or so. And then bring your left hand down to the ground at about 10 o'clock. Shift your weight into that front foot and hand and lift your back leg, flex your foot, and then tuck your left hip under you. Tuck your right ribs under you. Try to face the belly to the absolute right, so not kind of right and down, but facing the wall. And then take the arm up. If you want, you can also bring your right hand to your right foot and then kick the foot away from you. It might open the chest and shoulder on that right side a little more. Stay with your breath. And bring the right hand down. Fold over your left leg and kick the right leg up as high as you can. Breathe. Push forward into your hands, bending your front knee Maybe walking the hands back a little, coming into your runner's lunge. Steady, slow, even breath, stepping back into plank. And then your choice. You can bring your knees down and lower all the way to the ground and come into cobra, or keep your elbows by your side, coming into chaturanga, lowering, hovering, pushing into the hands, coming into upward dog or cobra. If you're in cobra, not just your knees are on the ground, but your pelvis is on the ground. Your tailbone is pressing down. Shoulders are back. Take the shoulders down away from the ears. Bring the back ribs forward. Bring the heart forward. Good. And then take downward dog. Always reestablishing your breath if you've lost it. And then on an inhale, lift the right leg, look forward. And exhale, step the foot up between the hands. Drop the hips. See if dropping the hips can bring your weight more into your feet. Really feel the weight in your feet and then push back through your left heel. Stay here if you want, or lifting up. If you're really wanting a more restful practice today, that knee can stay down on the ground. Just see what's going to work for you. Take the arms up and then hook the thumbs in the awkward way, whichever way you're not inclined to. Pulling the hands apart, pressing back through the left heel, bringing the tailbone under you. Feeling the breath underneath the ribs. And then bring the back heel down, sink nice and low, open the arms to shoulder height. Good. Check in with that knee, sending it back if it needs to go back. It's very common for the knee to kind of collapse in, especially if the inner thigh is tight. So really try to aim the outer knee toward the side wall. And then we'll turn and look at the left hand and roll the belly open to the left. Keep the back leg straight and the foot firm. And then keep the belly rolled to the left. Turn your head to the right. Relax the shoulders down. Sink down. And again, do that little check-in with yourself. Maybe closing the eyes to see if there's more weight in the front foot. Might be leaning forward into it. So the idea is to not be leaning into the back or the front, kind of metaphor for life, not looking so much behind you into the past or forward into the future, but kind of really being fully present to right here in this moment. And here we're kind of looking toward the future, but not to the extent that we're leaning into it. We're still grounded in the present and just gazing off into the distance there. Okay, right elbow comes onto the knee. The left arm reaches overhead. Turn the gaze up, roll the belly open. Push away into the left foot. Reach out through the left hand. Breathe long up the left side of the body. And then bring the left arm behind your back. Gaze down, Step the back foot forward just a little bit, just enough so you can bring your right hand down and at about 2 o'clock of your foot. Shift weight into your front foot and hand. Lift your back leg, flex your foot, tuck your right buttock under you, tuck your right ribs under you, roll your belly open to the left, and then lift the arm up. If you're balanced, you can take your gaze from the ground to your left thumb. Makes the balance a little harder. And if you want, you can wrap your hand around your foot or ankle and then kick back. Steady breath. And bring the left hand down. Square the hips to the front. Fold over your right leg, kicking up high through the left leg. Straighten the leg, reaching out of the bottom of the foot. Good. Bend that front knee. Step back into your lunge. Step back into plank. Last time here, lowering on the knees or through plank. Coming to the ground or hovering above in upward dog. Stay here. If you're in upward dog, straighten your arms, lift even higher. If you're in cobra, press down more into your pelvis. Let's all bring the back ribs forward, the shoulders back, the chest down. Good. And then let's all bring the knees down. And come into child's pose, holding the arms alongside the body. Unless your head doesn't touch the ground. If your head doesn't touch the ground, then use your hands or fists to support your head. You want the head to be able to relax. Relax the upper body onto the lower body. Relax the arms. Just breathe deeply. And bring the hands to the ground under the shoulders, pressing your body out. Lift your buttocks just a bit so you can curl your toes under. And then sit on your heels with the toes curled under. Good. Resting your hands, resting your shoulders. We're going to do another round of breath of fire, that rapid breathing. So if you're comfortable closing your eyes, again, the gaze is at the third eye, the point between the brows. We start with an inhale and then begin. Inhale, hold. Squeeze and lift up. Pull up through the anal muscles. Pull everything up. Exhale, release the hands to the ground. Release the toes. Kick the feet into the ground. Good. And then curl the toes under again. walk the hands back, lifting the knees up. Lift the body up tall and bring the hands together at the heart. Let the lower back lengthen down toward the ground, pulling the belly in. And then from here, we're going to lift all the way up, staying on the toes, reaching up through the arms, taking steeple mudra, index fingers touching the rest of the hand with the fingers interlaced. If being on the toes isn't working for you, you can just have the heels come down. Good. And then let's all bring the heels down. Take a breath in. Exhale and bend to the left. Gazing up. I like to rest my head on my left arm. See if that feels good to you. If not, you can just have the arms framing the head. Send the hips a little bit more to the right. Maybe drop the body a little more to the left. Maybe breathe a little deeper. Use your next inhale to come up. Come up onto the toes. Exhale the heels down and come to the right. Turning your gaze up. Lengthening the body by lengthening the breath. Hips a little bit more to the left. Maybe dropping into the right side a little more with the body. Inhale up. Come up onto the toes. Exhale, heels down, arms down, fold forward. Hands to the shins. Inhale, look up. Hands down. Exhale, fold. Two more like that. Hands to the shins, arching and looking up. Exhaling, folding. One more. Then stay in your folded position. Push down into the feet. Lift up through the sit bones. Lift up through the thighs. Lift up through the navel. Release the weight of your head down. On your next inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Taking the arms up. Exhale the hands together at the heart. Closing the eyes, feeling the feet on the ground. And then shift weight into the left leg. Release the hands and bring the left arm up. Feel the length as you push down into the foot and reach up through the fingers. Feeling the whole left side of the body really grounded and solid and alive with the breath. And then open the eyes, finding your drishti, the point that you're gazing upon. And turn the right palm to face out. With all the weight in your left foot, lift your right foot and place it on your upward facing right palm. Good. And then we're going to start to kick the foot back into the hand. Try not to bend forward because of this. You want to keep the back lifted, chest lifted, reaching up through the left pinky, kicking back, opening that right shoulder, breathing into it. Dancer's pose. And release down, lower the arm, close the eyes. Notice the breath in the chest, the right side compared to the left side. Notice the spaciousness or the tightness, just with curiosity, not with judgment, not to change anything. We're not paying attention to fix our experience, but just to know our experience. Just to know it for the sake of unifying the body, the heart, and the mind, coming together, becoming more whole. If you're judging, you're creating disconnect instead of connect. Start to feel your right foot sinking into the ground. Your right side becoming heavy. And then lifting the right arm and feeling not just the heaviness, but the lightness as you also lift. Reaching tall. Eyes open gently. Finding your drishti. Turn the left palm to face out. And with all the weight in your right foot, lift your left foot into your palm. Palm still facing up. And then kick that left foot back into the hand. Good. Bring your back ribs under you and forward. Reach up through the right pinky. Breathe. Nice full breath. Good. Release down. Close the eyes. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back, down. A few more times. And relax the shoulders. And start to let the whole body shake. Maybe bouncing at the knees, the arms, really letting go. Just moving the body every way that it wants to move. And really shake the hands. Continuing to shake the whole body, but focusing on the hands. And then back to the whole body. Maybe exhaling out of the mouth, letting go of some of the tension that the shaking helps release. And then slowly come to stillness. Close the eyes. Notice how you feel. It's like a nice cup of coffee. Okay. And then step the feet wider apart, not as wide as they'll go, maybe like 2 feet or so, turning the toes wider than the heels. Bend into the knees. And take the arms out to the side, bend the elbows. So you're in cactus arms, starting here in goddess pose. And then we're going to take it into a twist. Inhaling left, exhaling right, going rapidly. Make sure your eyes follow. Maybe sink the sit bones even more. Good. Inhale, take the heels wider, lift the arms up. Hold the breath. Lift up from the midline of the body. Reach up through the index fingers. When you need to exhale, release the arms, fold forward. Lift the creases at the tops of the thighs. Lift the space between the pubic bone and the navel, letting the body relax over. Slow, steady breath. And then bring the heels in again, keeping the toes wider than the heels. Bend the knees, lowering down. Good. Place the hands on the ground, about shoulder width apart. And then the elbows are bent, but in line with the hands. So that the forearm bones are completely vertical. The inner thighs are resting on the backs of the arms or the elbows. The heels come off the ground. Fingers spread wide apart. Again, if the elbows go wide, you lose all the power, and it's going to be really difficult, if not impossible, to do the posture. So the key is keep the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders in a straight line. And then lift your bum, kind of like a stink bug. Lift high enough so that as you shift your weight forward, the elbows come directly over the wrists. Once the elbows are directly over the wrists, then the bones in your forearms are supporting you. And then you can lift or try to lift your feet off the ground. Again, the hips are high. The head is moving forward and slightly down. Just focus on where you need to be in order to get the elbows lined up over the wrists. Okay. And then release back down onto your feet. Let's bring the knees inside. And bring the knees down, if you can, with the feet outside of the knees. You may need some sort of cushion to sit on. If you can sit with your buttocks in between your feet, go ahead and do that. If you need to sit on something, that's fine. And if you need to just sit in rock pose on your feet, that's fine as well. So if you're here, hero's pose, you're going to take the flesh of your calves and roll it out. That'll give you a little more space. Good. Then we're going to take the backs of the hands together. And keeping the backs of the hands together, press the elbows down. Keep the spine lifted. Circle the hands around. And circle the other way. And release the hands. And release the legs. Extend them out. Shake them out. Rub the knees if they feel like they would like that. Good. And then take the arms overhead. And lean back. And then stay here without coming down and lift the legs. And then you can either do a slow, steady breath, or you can return to the breath of fire. Bring the arms forward, lower halfway down some more. Turn the palms to face down, and then press the arms up and down. Come back to stillness, and lower slowly onto your back. Once you get there, hug the knees to your chest. Pull the chin down, lengthening the back of the neck. And then circle the knees away from each other in opposite directions. So they're mirroring each other. Hands on the knees, using the hands to circle. Circle the other way. And come to stillness. Bring the arms inside the legs. Bring the hands around the bottoms of the feet. Lift the feet, trying to get the ankles in line with the knees. Take a breath in, nice and deep. When you exhale, move your toes toward the wall behind you. Pull the chin down, lay the tailbone down, take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop the backs of the shoulders toward the ground. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. now release the right foot. Send the left leg straight up. The right knee will bend. The left leg is straight up. Bring your left hand around the outside of your left leg and take your right foot. Bring your right hand to the outside of your left leg or the big toe or the outside of the foot if you can reach those. Good. And then I'm going to roll over onto the right side. Let that right knee come down. Let the left leg come across. Turn your head to the left. And then maybe see if pulling your left hand into your right foot helps you release your left shoulder down. And then lift your right foot as close to your right shoulder as you can. Sink down into your right hip. And release the hands. And come back to knees to chest. Send the right leg up with the right arm coming around the outside of the right leg. Find your left foot. So you're basically pulling your left foot toward your right buttock. Left hand comes to the outside of the right leg, foot, or toe. And then roll over. And then try to lay your right shoulder down and turn your head to the right. And again, maybe pulling the right hand into the foot helps you twist a little more and get that shoulder down a little more. And then it's also a sciatic stretch in addition to being a twist. So you really want to try to have that right leg perpendicular to your body, or at least lifted toward your left shoulder as much as you can. So don't worry about where your hand is, but if your foot is far away from your shoulder, you're not really getting that stretch that's intended. So pulling toward you. A couple more breaths here. Release the hands, roll into your back, hug the knees to the chest. Walk a little side to side. And then bring the feet to the ground. Lift your tailbone, tuck it under. Release it down. Straighten the legs, shake them out. If you're working with an eye pillow, place it on your eyes. And then let's have the arms comfortable distance away from the body. Tuck the shoulder blades under you. Legs nice space apart. Eyes closed. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, sinking the body into the ground. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, release the jaw. Drop the lower teeth away from the upper teeth. Let the lips part. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, washing away the past and the future. Coming fully into the present moment. Using your breath as your anchor. Keeping you here. Connected to right now. Letting right now be as easeful as possible. Letting go of the breath. No effort. None in the body. None in the breath. Just the slightest effort in the mind to stay present. When the mind wanders off, great, you've noticed that it's wandered, so you're back. Return to feeling to the breath, letting everything else go. Deeply relax, letting go, letting go, letting go. Breathe into your heart, move fingers, toes. Reach the arms overhead, take a deep breath, stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest, rock side to side, feeling the massage the ground gives your back. Come center, rub hand to hand and foot to foot, waking up the energy in the body. And then roll over onto your side. Rest your head on your underside arm. Rest your body on the ground. And take a moment just to see what you might feel grateful for in this moment. And calling that thing to mind and letting the sense of gratitude fill your whole body. Stay infused with the gratitude as you come back up to sitting. Sit bones down, head lifted tall. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax now. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.